live again. And what are you guys doing on this Friday evening? I thought I would go live tonight and let's chat, guys. Let's chat. This is your opportunity to ask questions. I'm going to be basing everything off of this book by Louise Hayes. It's called You Can Heal Your Life. And we're going to be talking about tonight about the mental and emotional patterns that show up and which lead to disease of the physical body. So if that is something that you're into, make sure to to subscribe to the channel because we're going to probably do more lives. But I have the book here if you want to order it for yourself. It's by Louise Hayes. It says You Can Heal Your Life. This is one of my favorite books. So as you come into the live, make sure that you comment, right? Ask questions. If there's a certain dis-ease of the body, meaning you're not at ease, put it in the comments and I will look it up for you. But for tonight video, I'll just do some of the common major dis-ease and what is causing the probable cause, and then we're going to follow up with an affirmation. I love this book, you guys. This is like my little Bible. When my clients come in, my private clients, whether I saw you in person when I had my office or over Zoom, we usually go over this, right? We usually look at the mental and emotional patterns because they do play a part in your physical element, right? But remember, everything starts in the physical realm. Everything starts, excuse me, in the spiritual realm. Yeah, I'm on live. Sorry about that. That's one of my kids knocking and I locked the door. But so I decided to go live and discuss, these mental and emotional patterns that keep showing up. I thought somebody was knocking. Okay. So this is not something that I came up with. This is something that Louise Hayes, she created this. She came up with this whole list. So make sure you guys comment. Let me know what city and state you're tuning in from. Oh, let me know what city and state that you're tuning in from. And make sure to like the live. It is absolutely free because if you don't stay on the live, it will get to the people that need this information. And again, if you vibe with, hello, King. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Hello. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Make sure to like the live. So it's at the top of the channel. Make sure you guys like the live. As you come in, liking the live is free. And if this content is your content, feel free to subscribe. If this is your vibe, this is your thing, feel free to subscribe to the channel. So, if you have an element that you would like for me to look at the emotional and the mental pattern, and you want me to tell you what the affirmation is, thank you for the like. So we got 12 people, or only one person gonna like the live. We have 12 people on the live and nobody wants to like it. All right, so let's talk about some physical ailments, right, guys? If we do not address our mental, right, and our emotional bodies, this is what's going to happen. So the first one I wanted to do, let me do one of the very first one. A lot of people have issue with. Thank you so much for liking. Let me know what city and state as you come in. Say hello. Let me know where you are tuning in from. So, one of the elements I wanted to talk about is women, breast. Let's talk about the breast. This is for women. Ohio. Okay, thank you, King Dino. Thank you for letting me know what city and state, or I mean, what state you're tuning in from. All right, so let's talk about breast. Now, if you have an ailment, guys, please, please, please comment, and I will look it up for you. What is probably causing your physical ailment or disease of your body? So, breast. This is for the women. If you're having any issues in your breast, um, the probable cause is that you're overly mothering and nurturing if you're overly mothering and nurturing. All right. So it represents mothering and nurturing and nourishment, right? That's probably because you're overdoing it. You're doing too much nurturing. You're doing too much mothering. You're worrying too much. Leave those adult kids alone, especially if you have kids and they're adults. Your job is done. You have to trust that you have provided them everything they need for their lives. So the affirmation, if you're having issues, breast problems. So another thing is a refusal to nourish yourself, meaning you're not pouring back into yourself. You're not putting yourself first. A refusal to nourish yourself. If you're having any breast issue, putting everyone else first, putting people ahead of you, not pouring into yourself, not filling your cup up first and you know, and pouring from the overflow. So you're doing too much, over mothering, overprotective. If you're overprotective, that's not good. Overbearing, the mothers that are in their children's life, overbearing, trying to take over, trying to tell them what to do. Stop doing that, okay? So the affirmation for if you're having any breast problems is I take in and give nourishment in perfect balance. I take in and give out nourishment in perfect balance. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you so much. If you have an element that you would like for me to uh to go over, drop the comments and drop what the ailment is. If it's going through cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, because we're going to do all of those tonight. I'm going to go over the most common ailments that majority people are facing. And most common ailments that people are facing is with women is usually the breast. Another affirmation, I am important. I count. I now care for and nourish myself with love and with joy. I allow others the freedoms to be who they are, and we are safe and free. Hi, thank you so much, Bryson. Make sure to like the live, right? And let me know what city, state, or country you're tuning in from. We're talking about the emotional and the mental patterns that shows up in our physical bodies, right? So we don't address certain things in our physical bodies, right? Um it will show up as a dis-ease. All right. So, let's look at another common ailment, bronchitis. Anybody on the live suffering from bronchitis? What the probable cause is inflamed family environment, arguments and yelling, sometimes silence. So if you're in a home environment, it's a lot of yelling, it's a lot of arguing. Bronchitis is probably what's going on. Inflamed environment, arguments and yelling, sometimes silence. So what you want to say, the affirmation is I declare peace and harmony within me and around me. All is well. I declare peace and harmony within me and around me. All is well. So if you're suffering from bronchitis, maybe there's a lot of arguing going on, a lot of tension in the home, a lot of yelling, screaming in the home, right? And if you don't address that, if you don't address that, it starts to show up. It starts to show up in your physical body, right? Everything is spiritual, right? Everything starts in the invisible realm, the spiritual realm. If you don't resolve it, it will show up in your physical realm. Let me know what city and state you're tuning in from. Make sure to like the live. And if this is your content and you vibe with this kind of information, make sure to subscribe and follow. I'll be going live to discuss the mental and emotional patterns that may show up in our physical bodies. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you so much for subscribing. So that was bronchitis. Let's see what else, you guys. If you have any ailments, post it in the comments, and I'll come back and let you know what it means. What is the mental and emotional patterns, and what the affirmation is, so you can start healing those dis-ease. Okay, dis-ease is when the body is not at ease. All right. So the next one I want to talk about. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me see. Anybody have a disease or ailment they would like for me to look up for them? Depression. So a lot of people are dealing with a lot of depression. And then I'm going to go back and do anxiety as well. So if you're dealing with depression, The probable cause is anger you feel you do not have the right to have. Hopelessness. So you feeling like, woe is me. Like you feel hopeless. Like there's nothing you can do that's right. So the affirmation that goes along with depression is I now go beyond other people's fears and limitation. I create my life, right? I now go beyond other people's fears and limitation. I create my life. Make sure to like, oh, thank you so much for liking the live. That is so sweet. If this is your vibe and it's this kind of content that you enjoy, make sure to subscribe. Let me know what city and state you're tuning in from. And let me know what element you want me to look up. I'm going to look up anxiety next. So, what is the mental and emotional patterning for anxiety? Let me get that for you guys. And you can always watch the replay, right? Anxiety. Anxiety, the probable cause is not trusting the flow in the process of life. I don't know. I think ever since 2020 came in, when we went into, we had COVID, a lot of people are dealing with social anxiety. Okay, I'm in love with a YouTuber. What to do? What do I do? Help. Be yourself. Be yourself. Just be your authentic self, right? And just, you know, if you're in love with a YouTuber, just let her know how you feel. Be honest, form a relationship. First of all, be your authentic self and just start off as friends and go from there. All right, so the next one, anxiety. Anxiety, the mental and emotional pattern for anxiety is not trusting the flow in the process of life. You're not trusting. You're not trusting yourself. You're not trusting the process. You're constantly worried. So the affirmation to go for anxiety is I love and approve myself and I trust the process of life. I am safe. So constantly you want to be saying I am safe. Make sure to like the live, please. Make sure to like the live. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, I'm being honest. I have feelings for you, Miss. I'm sorry. I didn't know how to tell you. Okay. Well, thank you so much, X, for liking the live. Thank you so much, X, for liking the live. Let me know what city and state. And X, are you dealing with any kind of dis-ease of the body? Are you dealing with any dis-ease of the body? Let me know. All right, so we talked about depression, we talked about anxiety. Now let's talk about let's see, another hot topic. Let me see another one that everybody is dealing with. I'm just being an idiot, ma'am. No problem. No problem. You have a good day. You too. Thank you for stopping by. Make sure to like the live, you guys, as you come in, and let me know what city and state you're tuning in from. We're talking about the mental and emotional patterns that show up as disease. Thank you so much, guys. I am enjoying myself. This is so much fun. I'm here to assist you. One another hot topic I wanted to talk about was let's talk about heart attacks, right? Let's talk about the heart. So when you're having heart issues, the heart, the probable cause is the heart. It represents the center of love and security, right? But if you're having a heart attack, that is because the probable cause is squeezing all the joy out of your heart in favor of money and position. So squeezing all the joy. There's no joy, there's no excitement, there's no happiness, right? So you're squeezing all the joy out of the heart. And another, if you have any kind of heart problems, is it deals with long-standing emotional problems. Like this is not being able to regulate yourself, right? Not able to come up with strategies to regulate your emotions. So heart problems are long-standing emotional problems, lack of joy, lack of happiness, hardening of the heart. Maybe something has happened to you in your childhood, or something has happened um, in your teenage years, and it kind of hardened your heart, like it turned you off. Your heart is cold, right? Belief in strain and stress, right? So if you have any heart problem, your belief is into strain and stress. So what are the affirmation for that, my heart beats to the rhythm of love. You can speak that. You can speak, I bring joy back to the center of my heart. I express love to all. And you can say joy, joy, joy. I lovingly allow joy to flow through my mind in my body and experience. Make sure to like the live, guys. And if this content is something that you are enjoying, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. So we've already talked about heart problems. We already talked about diabetes, anxiety, depression. Is there any ailment that somebody wants me to look up while you're on the live? Let me know. Let me know what ailment you would like for me to look up. Make sure to like the live as you come in, and let me know what city and state you're tuning in from. Let me know what city and state. So we talked about that. Let me see another hot topic. We talked about heart attacks, heart problems. Let's talk about um let's see. Here's one. Maybe a lot of parents are dealing with children that have hyperactivity. So if you have a child that's dealing with like hyperactivity, one of the problem causes, the mental and the emotional probable cause is fear, feeling pressured and frantic, right? So if you have a hyperactive, let me know what city and state you're tuning in from. Make sure to like the live and make sure to subscribe if this is your content. So fear, feeling pressured and um, fear, feeling pressured and frantic. So the affirmation that goes along with that is I am safe, all pressure dissolve. I am good enough. So a lot of times hyperactivity, the probable cause or the mental and emotional probable cause pattern is fear, feeling pressured and frantic. So what I say to that is if you have a child that's experiencing that hyperactivity, maybe try to give them some coping strategies such as um, just counting to 10 real slowly or doing some breath work, some deep breathing. You can also introduce them to do in breath work. If you haven't heard what breath work is, it's just doing deep breathing. And they have like practitioners that go into depth and teach on how to properly do breath work. That is, if you ever notice, if when you take a deep breath, it seems like your nervous system automatically just kind of starts to calm down. You can feel it immediately when you're doing breathing exercises. All right, so let's talk about now. If you want me to talk about more of the, I don't know if we have a bunch of men on the live or women on the live. Let me know, men, because we can look at the elements for that are affecting men. Okay, if you, well, I don't know if I could say that on YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about. Inflammation. If you're dealing with a lot of inflammation in your body, the mental and emotional probable pattern is fear. So if you have inflammation in your body, it's fear, seeing red, inflamed thinking. Ooh. All right. So the affirmation, this is for me. That resonates with me. So the affirmation that goes along with inflammation is my thinking is peaceful, calm, and centered. Ooh, I need to write that down. That affirmation was for me. My thinking is peaceful, calm, and centered. Like if you're constantly thinking and you're angry in your thoughts and your emotions, you definitely, inflammation is not good for the body because inflammation leads to more disease. Okay, I swear inflammation is just not good for us at all for our health. So if you're dealing with a lot of inflammation, another thing I will tell you to do is look at your diet, eat more high vibrational foods, probably more fruits. If you're dealing with a lot of inflammation in your body, it's going to be your diet. Okay. This is good stuff. Let me know. Like the live as you come in. Like it. Let me know. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Is this your vibe? Make sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, let's see here. Let's talk about if you're having some knee problem. If you're having problems with either your left or your right knee, the mental and emotional pattern is it represents pride and ego. Pride and ego. Sometimes people's like, oh, you need to swallow your pride, right? So the affirmation that goes with knee problem is I am flexible and flowing. So usually when you're not flexible, you're not open, you're kind of like closed, right? In life, we need to be more open, more flexible. Like, you hear the flexibility a lot of time in the job market. They want somebody to be able to go, to be flexible, to be bendable. Like, you can't be kind of set and stuck in your ways. Like, if they need you to come in one day at 9 o'clock, you need to be a little flexible in making that happen, right? But if you're experiencing knee problems, knee represents pride and ego, but your knee problems, stubborn ego and pride, inability to bend to fear, um, inability to bend, fear, inflexibility, won't give in, right? And this goes back to unforgiveness too. So the affirmation is forgiveness, understanding, compassion. I've been in flow with ease and all is well. So make sure you guys like the live. Let me know what city and state you're tuning in from. And if this is your vibe, if you like, you know, interesting stuff about how to self heal without taking a whole bunch of medicines, and you want to be on this live, you want to follow the YouTube channel as well. So again, like I said, like being flexible, and this also, let me tell you, unforgiveness is not for the person that caused the fault, right? That caused the pain. Unforgiveness is really for the person, for you, so you're not holding on to that energy. Because if you hold on to resentment and anger and all those emotions, it really affects you. So that's why I get it now. Like when somebody do you wrong or do injustice, it's best to just forgive. Eventually you have to forgive, because if you don't, it just constantly eats you alive, right? It eats you from the inside. So that's why people say forgiveness is for you, so you can let go of that hostility and all those bad emotions, because those emotions over time, if you don't address it over time, it will manifest into a physical ailment like cancer and all type of disease that you don't want to have to deal with, right? We don't want to have to do that. Yes, I'm on live. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. The kids are knocking again. So again, as you come in, make sure to hit the like button, right? Because it only helps me get my information out to my soul tribe, right? My soul friends. So make sure you like, let me know what city and state you are tuning in from. And also, if you would like for me to look up your element, let me know. Even if you're watching a replay, put hashtag replay. And if there's something that you want to know, like an element, what is the mental and the emotional pattern, probable problem, probable pattern, please, please, please post it and I will come back and we can engage even after the live. On this one I can, right? On this live I will. Oh, okay. So lupus, or anybody's dealing with lupus, is a giving up. Better to die than stand up for oneself. Anger and punishment. Ooh, so if you're dealing with lupus, the mental and emotional pattern is giving up. Better to die than stand up for oneself. Anger and punishment. The affirmation that goes with lupus, what you want to start saying: I speak up for myself freely and easily. I claim my own power. I love and approve of myself. I am free and safe. So this is all about standing up for yourself, setting appropriate boundaries, right? Setting those appropriate boundaries and then enforcing them, right? And somebody cross your boundary, you need to speak up and let them know, all right? Or I don't know, depending on what it is, you may have to cut people off, release people, okay? All righty, let's see. Let's see. Let me give you another. Let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to find another um, element that's really popular that everybody's, majority of people are dealing with. Okay, let's talk about releasing weight. Okay. So if you're carrying weight and you want to, I don't like to say diet, so we call it releasing because we're releasing. Um, so what is the mental and emotional pattern around overweight? It's fear, needing protection, running away from feelings, insecurity, self-rejection, seeking fulfillment. So if you're dealing with weight, overweight and you want to lose that, first address what is keeping you in fear. What are you protecting yourself from? So sometimes you got to go back into your childhood and you got to think about, okay, what did I need protection from? Maybe you didn't get protection during something in, even in your adult life too. This could happen in your teenage years, your childhood. Go back and think about where you felt like you weren't protected. And it's talking about run away from feelings, insecurity, self rejection, and seeking fulfillment. Now, the affirmation that goes with overweight is I am at peace with my feelings. Make sure to like the live as you come in, guys, and let me know what city and state. Hello. Gorkum, how are you? Let me know what city and state. We're talking about the mental and the emotional patterns that leads to dis-ease in the body. So the affirmation for overweight is I'm at peace with my own feeling. I am safe where I am. I create my own security. I love and approve myself. Right? So if you, and I don't like to use the word diet, so use the word release. Alrighty, let's see here. Oh my God, we've been on live almost 30 minutes. That went fast. Let me know what city and state. Make sure to like the live so it can get out to, so I can reach more people. So make sure to like it. It's free to like. Go to the top of your screen and like the live. And let me know what city and state you're tuning in from. Now let's talk about, let's see. Um, Let me find another disease that everybody pretty much is dealing with. Uh, Let me know what city and state. Make sure to like the live. And if you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you're watching a replay, you guys type replay and let me know what element you would like me to research for you. And I'll type it on the replay for you. All right. So I'm looking for another hot, like popular element that most people are dealing with. Let me know what city and state. Make sure to like the live as you come in. All right. So if you have shoulder pain, like if you're having any issues with your shoulders, basically the mental and emotional pattern is it represents our ability to carry out experience in life joyously. We make life a burden by our attitude. So this is like everything feels heavy. When things are heavy, your shoulders do, like you feel like you got the world on your shoulder. It's very heavy. It's very burdensome, right? So this represents shoulders represents our ability to carry out experience in life joyously. So basically, you just want to enjoy. Take a moment, slow down, breathe, right? Breathe for a minute. Get silent, right? And do some breath work. Do some breathing, some deep breathing, and stop thinking that life is such a burden because it really is it's a blessing. It's a gift, right? But the affirmation that goes along with shoulders, if you have any shoulder issues, I choose to allow my experience to be joyous and loving. I choose to allow my experiences to be joyous and loving. Make sure to like the live as you come. Let me know what city and state you are tuning in from. Now we're in spring, so if you guys are dealing with sinus, oh, you know what? I'll go back after I do sinus. I'll go back and talk about allergies. So sinus problems. If you're having sinus problems, the mental and emotional pattern is irritation to one person or someone close. That's funny. Irritation to one person or someone close. So the affirmation that goes along with sinus, I declare peace and harmony and dwell me and surround me at all time. All is well. So you're declaring peace and harmony, right? That's funny that Luis put that as for sinus problems. All right, let's go back to see if I can find allergies. Let me see if I can find what's going on with the allergies. Because that's a good one, because everybody, it's springtime and everybody's suffering with allergies. Here it is. So the mental and emotional pattern for allergies is who are you allergic to, denying your own power? It's always tied back to somebody, right? So the affirmation is the world is safe and friendly. I am safe. I'm at peace with my life. So basically, you want to speak these things because words are very powerful. Words are healing, right? We want to speak over our bodies. We want to speak over those organs or cells, those blood vessels, everything. You want to speak life with your words, okay? All right, so we did allergies, we did sinus. Oh, let's talk about throats because people are probably going to be having some sore throats because of the sinus drainage, right? So sore throat, it means the mental and emotional pattern for sore throat is holding in angry words, feeling unable to express yourself. So this is your throat chakra. So if you're having throat issue is because you're not speaking up for yourself. You're not being your authentic self. You're holding back. So that's why or you may be over talking. It could be one of the two. You could be over talking, talking too much. So that will also give you throat issue problems. But the affirmation for throat is, um, where did it go? Oh, there it goes. I open my heart and sing the joy of love. I open my heart and sing the joy of love. So make sure as you come on the live, guys, make sure to like the live. Make sure to let me know what city and state. And if you want me to look up your ailment, drop whatever ailment you're dealing with, whether it be diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, whatever's going on, let me know. I'll be happy to look it up for you. All right, so we're not going to be on here too much longer because this is a whole book of ailments. But I wanted to come on here live, and I said I want to start doing this for people that are interested so they can start self-healing, or if they're on a healing journey. So this was my pleasure. This was actually, there's so many elements in here, you guys. And basically, anytime you have an element or dis-ease of the body, you always got to think about what was your mental and emotional state, right? What was the mental and emotional patterns showing up in your life, right? The thing about it is like after years and years and years of dealing with stuff and never really resolving it or healing it or doing, like you hear a lot of people talk about, doing the shadow work, doing the inner soul work. I say inner soul work, shadow work. It's all the same. It's just doing some really deep reflective work. People don't want to do deep reflective work. They want everything to come easy. And unfortunately, healing is not easy. It's kind of like zigzag. It's all over the place. Everybody's healing journey is not the same. Everybody's healing journey is different. So don't compare your journey to anybody else because like that wouldn't make sense. Everybody's different, right? So what you experience and the way you heal yourself is going to look totally different. You just got to find out what works for you. But with that being said, as you're coming in, or if you're going to watch the replay, because I'm about to end this live, but I'll be back on here. I'm going to try to go live on Fridays. I do go live tomorrow, Saturday. So you want to make sure you are following the channel because I go live Saturday. And if you join the lives, I will do a free card reading for you, but that's on Saturdays and Sunday. But you have to subscribe to the channel so you know when I go live. Oh, thank you so much. Somebody just liked the live. Thank you so much for the listen. I don't know. I get excited when you guys like the live and I see my likes go up. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me know what city and state you're tuning in from. If you want, I'll stay on a few more minutes. If you want me to look up an element or dis-ease for you, let me know. Drop it in the comments. If not, I'll be back on here live tomorrow to do the card reading. I usually try to go live between 12 and 1 for the card readings on Saturday and Sunday between 12 and 1. But put your notification on so you can be notified um, that I am live if you want a card reading. But I'll be back here on Saturday. I'll be back here on Sundays. And I will try to go live more during the week. I'm going to try to bring some content that I feel like it will impact and help others. Make sure if you like the content to share the video with your family and friends. All right. With that being said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all the subscribers, the followers, the like, the comments, the engagement. I appreciate that. And with that being said, I'll see you back here on tomorrow. Have a wonderful Friday night.